Good morning. This is H coming at you again with another Autodesk Inventor tutorial. We're still looking at the SolidWorks education lessons. This video is going to be covering lesson 43 and 44. Let's jump into it. Lesson 43 is an interesting looking piece of material. It's an object of some kind, a part. And in this particular part, again, looking at what we're given, hopefully you can identify at this point in the packet, if you've been following along, a good starting position, right? A good starting view where our sketch needs to begin. So if we look at of what we're creating, we're looking at the view that gives us the most dimensional information and visual information of what the part looks like in comparison to this isometric. So right side view, we can eliminate it. It gives us one dimension. We don't need that. Front view, it's not bad dimensionally. It gives us a lot of needed information there. Four dimensions isn't a bad number. This top view, this is where we're going to begin. It gives us the most dimensional information, but more than that, it gives us the shape of what this object looks like really in its final form. Okay, so we're going to draw these two profiles. There's a rectangle here, and then there's this funky polygon, right? This one. And so there's two different levels. It's stair steps. So again, we're looking at the top view for stair steps. So let's slide this over to the other monitor, and we're going to start our part file on the top plane. I'm going to go ahead and draw the rectangle that's needed first. This is a 30 by 20. And there it is. There's one profile already done for this part. Now we're going to continue drawing this in. We have a line that needs to come off this direction. And then there's an angle that comes down. And then another line here. A line up. Line over, and then it connects like that. So obviously here we got some major like dimensioning to do, right? So this, in this instance, I decided to just draw everything and then dimension it after everything's been drawn, right? So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to dimension everything. If I can actually get the right dimension, that's not 1, it's 10. There we go. Dimension this line here. This is also 10. Dimension this line here. This line is 30. One last dimension needed. This line here. This horizontal line here, this is 20. There it is. So everything is now dimensioned. So we have two profiles, the rectangle and then this weird one here. So let's finish the sketch. We got two extrusions. We'll do the larger one first. This extrusion here, this is going up the full 30 millimeters. Hit our plus sign to do the additional one. This one is just going up 10 millimeters. And now the last thing we need to do, we need to chamfer this edge. We save this chamfer till last. This chamfer is a 2 distances chamfer. Horizontally it is 20. Vertically it is 10. And there it is. That is lesson 43, just like that. Very simple, very direct. One sketch, 2 extrusions, chamfer an edge, done. Looks good. Hopefully it is that simple in following along and doing these with me. Okay, let's go to the next one. Lesson 44. Lesson 44 is basically the same idea, right? We just did lesson 43 where we did the top view, extruded what we needed, then chamfered. This one is no different. Okay, now, yes, it has a bit more of a complication as far as the drawing goes of this with some curves. So the sketch of this top view is going to be a little bit more, complicated, challenging, and so we're going to have some circles, some lines, this rectangle here that we'll extrude up and then chamfer. So lesson 44, we're going to start from the top view. So I'll start a new part file, millimeter part, and start our sketch on our top view. And I'm gonna draw the rectangle. Oh no, what am I gonna do here? I like using the circle at the center point. So I'm gonna do the smaller circle here. Diameter is 20 on this small circle that's here. Now we got to have some lines that are going to be coming off of this. So the length of this line is 10. The length of this line is 20. The length of this line is 10. Nope. 10. And now we get into another curve that's going to be here. So let's actually draw this in now. It's going to be the same center point, the center point of this circle lines up on the center point of this circle. So they're on the x-axis, which is important. That's good to know. The diameter of this is 40. This should be 10. I'm editing while I got quiet real quick because I was looking at this and saying something was wrong. And it was this line going up, this line going up vertically here was a 10, not a 20. So change this dimension to 10 if you were following along. Okay, so we need the dimension between these two circles. This dimension is also 20, which is going to cause a lot of cutting and trimming of some things we don't need in a minute. Okay. The other thing we want to do is making sure that this horizontal line and this curve, that they are connected. So we're going to go with tangency on this. So the tangent constraint, this line to this curve, making those tangents so that way they are connected and related in that way. So now we're going to use our line tool again, and right where this circle center point is here, we're going to make sure that we start our line that we're about to draw, so it lines up and with that center point of the circle. So that dotted line appears vertically. We go down and then click on this circle here, and we're going to come up into the circle 10 millimeters. And then we're just going straight across 20 millimeters, which is correct here, to this point here on this circle. So I'm going to click there. So at this point, we have everything we need for this first profile. We just got to trim out the things we're not going to use. And this is where it's going to get a little tricky. We got to pay attention to what we're trimming. We might also have to delete some dimensions in order for the trim tool to work, and then redimension. So first thing we don't need is this dotted line. So again, trim tool works by going to something you want to trim, and what it's going to trim and remove is the dotted line portion of what you're selecting. So of this circle, it's going to trim out that little portion of it. So I'm going to click on that. That's good. And then this internal portion, I'm going to click on that. It trimmed that out. Good to know. I also need this portion of the circle gone. This portion of the circle gone. I'm going to zoom in here because I need to trim out these small little pieces here as well. I don't need those. I'm going to zoom in here as well. I know I don't need this or this one, right? And I don't need this curve here on the outside. So let's take a look. We did a lot of trimming, but this is the basic shape here, right? Now we need to do some more drawing to get this other profile that was necessary to create over on this side here. Let me move this out of the way. This out of the way. So we need the rectangle that's here. So it's going to start here at this point and go up 20 millimeters. Then it's going to go over 10 millimeters, and then it's just going to connect to this point here, right? To the top of this line that's coming around from this loop, and it comes around here. So those are the profiles we needed. So let's take a look and make sure that we're good. So yep, these are the two profiles we need. Really interesting drawing. The circles, trimming out what you don't need. It can be challenging. Again, use the mouse wheel, zoom in and out, See if you can get all the things trimmed out that you're not needing and not using. That way you can get a clean extrusion with the extrude command on these profiles. So this rectangle is being extruded up 30. And then I'm going to hit my plus sign, apply. This is an extrusion of 10, very small. And that's it. That's all the extrusions we need. I'm going to hit the enter key. And now I need to chamfer this edge. This chamfer is a 2-distance chamfer, 2 distances on this edge here. The horizontal is going to be 20 and the vertical is going to be 20. So it actually wasn't 2 distances. Look at that. We could have used 1 distance, right? So I can apply that, and there's our chamfer just like that. And that was lesson 44. Okay, so lesson 44, pretty simple when it came to the extrusion command and the chamfer command. Those were easy. Those were good to go. It was just the sketch, right? And that's where you want most of your hard work to be. If you work hard in your sketch, do everything you can in there to get the correct geometries and your starting point correct. You make it a little bit of work up in the front end of it. It makes the finishing of these parts and any parts that you're working on much, much easier to complete and finish. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. You all have a great day.